Ready.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the Post-Star, the official newspaper of the Borough of Belmar, and the Asbury Park Press, and notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Take roll call. Councilman Donovan?
Here.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Here.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Here.
Councilman Rondinero? Here. Councilman Levis?
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our troops, our families, our first responders, and the people who have died in Texas due to the extreme flooding. At this point, it's about 100 individuals, 30 children, and 161 individuals still missing. Thank you. Okay, workshop. I wish we had more people here because I'm going to brag about the fireworks. I think it was the best fireworks show we've had ever. And I saw a lot of them through the years. And again, I was just thinking about this before, it's like a 1 hour event, but it takes so much coordination in order to do that. And every department in the borough is part of that, starting with, the business administrator's office, who I have to thank Mr. Kane for getting us a different vendor this year. And he saved us, a little bit of money. Well, gave us the same bang for the buck, pun intended. And the police and the lifeguards and the beach staff and the EMS and DPW. There's a lot of coordination that has to go on, starting earlier in the day, it's a Saturday, getting people off the beach in certain spots, getting parking spaces freed up. So it's a lot of work for everyone. But I think this year, and every year, but this year especially, it was very well worth it. So I just wanted to put that out there for those on YouTube land that you can see that or hear me at that point. But it was good. Hopefully we'll get that back next year. But it was very outstanding. Anything else for workshop? Nope. Okay, let's move on to petitions.
I did not receive any petitions.
Okay, then I guess we're moving on to approval of the minutes.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the June 17th meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilman Rondinero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes. The reports of council. Councilwoman Diamond.
Next Wednesday is the 38th annual Sandcastle contest between 17th and 19th Avenues in Belmar. Registration starts at 8, judging starts at noon. The rain day is scheduled for the next day, the 17th. Various businesses in town will be offering Sandcastle related specials, so please keep an eye out for that and remember to shop local. The Tourism Commission is working very hard to connect with members of our local business community and the Chamber of Commerce to respond to the bridge closure, generating communications and ideas for new events and promotions. So I would like to thank Nick Foster, Chris Brandel, Tara Kimco, and Ali Klein for all their help. Speaking of which, we have a new shuttle between Avon and Belmar. It is not the large New Jersey Transit bus, but a 20-seat ADA accessible shuttle with bicycle carrying capacity. It will operate 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. between Belmar and Avon. There are 9 stops, including 4 in Belmar, including the train station. We started off with a slow beach this summer. We've been talking about that quite a bit, but July has already been very busy. Our chief lifeguard, Harry Harson, reports that all of our returning and new guards have been through CPR and first aid training. During May and June, so this does not include 4th of July weekend, they performed 240 ocean rescues and reunited 27 lost children with their parents. During June, our Belmar lifeguards also instructed Belmar Elementary School, West Belmar, and St. Louis Grammar School with water safety instruction. There was a really great article in the Co-Star last week that talks about all the hard work they've been doing and all the saves they have. I encourage everyone to read it. And I also want to underscore one section where they talk about how well they work with our EMS. So I'd also like to thank them too for all of the work they've been doing. Finally, I was at the CLONET, which is Coastal Lakes Community Observing Network meeting on June 23rd, which is held by the Urban Coast Institute at Monmouth University. Along with other members of the Environmental Commission, we heard from members of our surrounding towns as to their struggles with their lakes, along with ideas to address our common problems. It seems every town has a problem with the geese and algae. We are currently down from 60 resident geese to about 10 to 15 and have had a one more successful year with no new goslings. So big thank you to DPW, along with our volunteers and our vendor Birds Beware for all their work this year. The next meeting of the BEC is this Thursday at 6:30 at the library. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman McKinney.
Yes, I wanted to thank everybody who made the 4th of July so successful also. The lifeguards, I know there were lots of saves. That article was great, and those guys are working really, really hard with the rip currents that are coming up with the storms, and so they're working really hard. DPW, police department, EMS, firemen, everybody who helped, raising board, everybody who helped to make 4th of July such a great success. It was really awesome. Recreation soccer signups or fall soccer signups are happening now, so reach out if you want to sign up your kids for soccer for the fall. Shade Tree Commission next meeting is this Thursday at 6:30 right here. And we're still getting all of our stuff together, but save the date for our skate park fundraiser at Bar A, October 11th. More info to come about that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Council President Rondinero.
Thank you, Mayor. The Belmar Housing Authority had their meeting yesterday. They'll be soon going out to bid to fix the facade. There are now some available units. Unfortunately, we did have 2 losses of residents this summer. The board has voted to open the waiting list, which has been closed for quite a bit of time. I'm told there's about 70 people currently on it. It does need to be updated. So just a reminder that any applicant who's a qualified Belmar resident would have preference over out-of-town applicants. The BHA website is belmarhousingauthority.com, or you can reach them and Paul DeSantis at 732-681-1795. The library unfortunately had to postpone Tommy B and the Deep Blue Sea tonight. We are, due to the thunderstorms that are predicted. Please keep a lookout on Facebook and on the library website as to when it will be rescheduled. Next concert on the library lawn is the Black Ties, July 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. Once again, the library is open 7 days a week, Monday through Thursday from 9 to 7, Fridays from 9 to 5, and Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 2. So please come and visit us. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Levis.
Thank you, Mayor. Kids are having a good time at summer camp. They did summertime surf. Allowed them to go surfing last week, so we want to thank them. They're having a great time this week, as long as the weather holds. Over at McCleary Park with friends of Belmar Harbor learning to sail. They're having a good time and hopefully not getting too sunburned. I want to remind everyone that next Thursday, July 17th, is the 30th Belmar Junior Guard Tournament at 6th Beach. It'll be at 9 a.m. and I want to thank Federico's Pizza for donating the pizza for that event. It's really generous of them. That's all I have there.
Okay, thank you. I have nothing at this point, so we should move on to...
I'm sorry, I just have one quick question.
Yes.
Can we get a bridge update? Is there a bridge update for us, Business Administrator King? Do we know anything?
I spoke to the Commissioner's office again this afternoon. The latest update, there's no time frame on the bridge update. They're manufacturing a part, the part that broke the one that broke like the south side last year. They found the part somewhere in New York. This time they can't find the part, so they had to order it to be manufactured, and there's no date on when that is going to be completed. Until they physically get the part, they can't put a time frame on the repair. They know what the repair is going to take because it's similar to last year, but it's all waiting on the manufactured part. That was as of this afternoon right at the Commissioner's office.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, we can move on to public session for the resolutions that are on the agenda.
If anyone has a comment or question about a resolution, please step forward, state your name and address. Seeing none, all right. Can I have a motion to close the public session?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the resolutions as listed on the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rondinero?
Yes.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, next we have second reading and public hearing of ordinance 2025-14. This is an ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 18, section 2.7C, rules and regulations of the beachfront, and it's for providing the use and control of tents and similar structures. This is open for public hearing if anyone would like to comment. Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor, if I could, if we look at the wording of that ordinance, I think towards the end of that ordinance, it describes the tent as being 6 feet across, and it says "and fully open." I think it would read better if it was simply "when fully open." That's not a substantive change that we'll have to do anything about. It meets the intent. It's just bad wording. If that was mine to begin with, I apologize.
Okay, that was the intent.
Yeah.
I should correct it to
Right,
reflect that.
okay.
Okay, everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Good.
Can I have a motion to amend the ordinance?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, can I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rondinero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
Next is first reading and introduction on bond ordinance 2025-15, providing for various capital improvements and acquisitions for the borough. This is for first reading and introduction. Can I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rondinero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
Next is first reading and introduction on bond ordinance 2025-16, providing for various water sewer utility improvements. Can I have a motion to offer for first reading?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rondinero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
Next is bond ordinance 2025-17, providing for special emergency appropriation for repairs to the Marina H-Dock. Do we have a motion to offer for first reading?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rondinero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
And last one is ordinance 2025-18, a capital ordinance providing for the repair of property located in the borough of Belmar, appropriating $676,000. Do we have a motion to offer for first reading?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rondinero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
All right, that's all of our ordinances. Next is public session. If anyone would like to speak, please step forward, state your name and address first.
Tom Dillner, 1000 River Road. I've had a few things here about the boardwalk and the beach. Very few, just 3. Number 1, the people that sweep up the boardwalk and police up with the grabbers and everything, as they walk up and down the boardwalk, many of them drag their brooms and that. That's unacceptable. disrespectful to everybody, the taxpayer, and yes, to the tools. The tools must be respected too. Please have, whoever runs that show down there, tell them to not drag their tools. Secondly, and you won't know what I'm talking about, but I'll spit this one out here. Badge checkers. Now, in my idea of the badge checkers, not much of a job or anything, but it should be reserved for older people and, older people or disabled people or younger women can do it. However, I'm totally against a young man doing that work, so to speak, if you want to really call it work. That is unacceptable. It shows up badly for the town, for the boy and everything else. And lastly, a little of uniforms. Let's take the female lifeguards. If anybody knows anything about life-saving and everything, every Marine, by the way, used to be anyway, had to take water life-saving and everything. And it was pretty tough stuff and everything. Everybody had to pass it, you had to be able to swim and then save the guy and all that jazz. But it is unacceptable to have a female lifeguard in a two-piece bathing suit. Now you can think of all sorts of stuff. Of course, we all like to look at the girls. You can think of all sorts of stuff what could go wrong with it. The person who's drowning is grabbing everything known to mankind to stay alive. He's scared to death, or she's scared to death. So they could grab the bra and drag it over the girl's head and do all sorts of stuff. So let's rethink that. Let's get a handle on that. One-piece bathing suit. As good looking as they are, one-piece bathing suit for the girl lifeguards. Enough of that baloney. All right. Enough for the pleasantries. I can't believe that it's come down to having to explain something like that. Oh, Lord. All right. I'm in arrears here a little bit. But I got this thing here about the LGBTQ plus flag raising ceremony. First of all, the resolutions and everything that were on the agenda today, that's your area. And you should rule on them as you do. That's correct. However, raising a flag that celebrates a sex act is something completely different. It's something out of your area of authority. There's a segment of the population that doesn't go for that routine. It's wrong for you to do it just like that. Unilaterally declare this and raise it for the town for 1 month. Now, if you go, and we still have time, to the public and put a special question on the ballot to do it or not do it, that's fine. If the people want it, great. But you can't do this by yourselves. That's overreach. Now let me just get to one thing here. I've known homosexual guys. Maybe I've known some lesbians too. But this last thing, LGBTQ queer, what the hell is that? That's what we used to say when we pointed at a guy. Anyway, in the end here it says a plus. Can anybody explain plus? What's that? It says it several times in the article. What's the plus? We got nothing black.
There is asexual, there's non-binary, and there's several others of ways that people like to label themselves. It's about a community, it's not about a sex act, and I think you know that. Thanks.
That's
Also, I'm sorry, I would like to mention that as we raised our flag, we did that in coordination with the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office 3 years ago, so I would love it if you do have complaints to speak to them. Thank you.
No, I'm in the right place. you have to go to the public and put this on the ballot. However, we won't argue that right now. Now, you mentioned a couple other things that people do and everything. Oh, let me ask you this, with the plus, we're still talking about the plus. Anybody wants to jump in there?
No one's talking.
Go ahead.
How is this relevant, Mr. Bill?
Say again?
We're sorry that it offended you so much that you had to look
I'm
at
not
the
offended,
plan.
I'm talking about it.
Do you have a question for the council, related to the council, not related to LGBTQ+?
Listen, anything that has the mayor's name on it is related to the town and can be spoken to on this floor. Stop trying to BS me, fella. Now, plus, that's very interesting. And I'm an old guy, and I don't know much about pluses. All right, does that include Council Lady Rodnero? Does that include necrophiliacs?
We're,
Does that include that?
this section of the meeting.
Say again?
This section of the meeting is for public comment.
That's what I'm
This is
doing.
this is not a question and answer. So if you'd like
Don't run
to,
away, Mr. Mayor, don't run away.
you've made comments.
Stay here,
And we're here to listen to your comments, and, you know,
but it was
Right.
commented on from the days, so therefore everything's on the level here.
no, I don't
Of
think so.
course not, sir.
I think,
Now,
we're
listen,
getting
let's get
into-
back to necrophilia.
you can make any comments you want about that, but your time is running out.
Well,
There's a
I can
5-minute
come
limit,
back,
and
I
you're
can come
also-
back, I
you're
understand
running at
Robert's Rules
6.
of Order completely.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you know, like I keep saying, they're calling you down at Point Pleasant for the comedy routine. What? All right. Let's go further with the plus. You ever see people in the town? Does anybody have a dog?
I'm
Huh?
not answering any questions, Mr. Belmar.
My client's not gonna answer any question. All right. Has anybody seen people walking their dogs? All right, I have. And they love their dogs. I would imagine they love their dogs. I had a cat that loved the dog, that loved that cat, but I didn't walk it. Anyway, there are certain people who not only love their dog, they're in love with their dog. Huh? Is that plus? Is that plus? Come on. Is it plus?
I think it's bigotry at its largest possible amount. Personally, I know you're asking me this question. I know all questions should go to the mayor.
it's
But
open
I'd
to
like to
anybody
say,
that
Mr.
wants to answer.
Hillenberger, this is an embarrassment to the borough of Belmar and its community members. And I'm so sorry that anyone has to listen to it.
You need
This
to
is
move
the
on.
embarrassment.
Mr. Belmar,
That
you need
you
to move on to
unilaterally
the,
did this.
you need to move
Without
on
going
to
to
the
the public.
LGBTQ+.
Mr. Mayor, I
issue.
have the floor. Would you please
No,
strike
no, you
down?
don't. You don't
Yes,
have
I
the
do.
floor. No, you don't. And in about a minute, I'm gonna tell you your time is up.
Now, let's go another into the plus.
No, we're not discussing that any further,
Why?
because your time is up,
Counselor?
okay? It's
All
time for you
right,
to
my
sit
time
down.
is up? My
Yes.
time is up?
You need to sit. Thank you.
Go ahead
Are there
now.
any other comments? No.
No, I haven't, if no other comments, I can talk.
No, you cannot.
Yes, I can.
We
That's
have a-
according
we
to
have a
rules of
person.
Robert's Rules of Order.
We have a person behind you who wants to speak.
Excuse me.
Claire Hayner, 18th and B, there's a tornado warning out there, just so you know. And I think I've seen those signs around that say be patient, be kind, and it takes all types to make the world go round. Thank you.
Anyone else have a comment? Okay, seeing none, I say we close the public session.
You're out of counsel, counselor, explain Robert's Rules of Order to this gentleman.
Robert Rules of Order only apply to the council, does not apply
We
to
have a
the...
second?
motion to
That's
close the
a
public
lie.
session.
You just made that up.
I didn't,
It applies to the meeting in general.
no.
Yes, it does. That's a disgrace. You just disgrace
I'll make the
yourself.
motion.
Wait, we have
I'm making a motion to close. the
I'll
public
You don't want to
session.
talk about necrophilia?
And
What
adjourn
about
the
having
meeting?
a big
What's
fair
that?
down
Close and adjourn?
at the
Close and
beach?
adjourn.
do we have a second?
Second.
What a bunch
All in
of
favor?
characters.
Aye.
What a bunch of characters. You ought to all be ashamed of yourselves. You're not, of course. What about pedophilia? Is that okay? Huh? No answer. Get away from me, Belmar. You should wed a little girl. You should wed a little